Hi, Robert Workman here, certified building biologist, electromagnetic radiation specialist. And today I thought we'd do a test on the Xbox. I do have my Pico scope. I got my differential probe here, Pico scope. What I call, this is basically enables me to separate the higher frequencies off the sine wave. So I need all this in the computer and the software to do all this. I have my tri-field here, and I also have a tetrafield here taking dirty power or frequencies above the 6 Hertz cycle. And the purpose of the video, I don't know how long this is going to take, is to show you, first of all, what is on the grid with all the power off. Now, right now I do have a filter plugged in, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this filter here. And so plug this, where's it at? Which one to go where? And there. Actually, do I have them all unplugged? Oh, actually, there's no filter plugged in, good. Okay, so no filters plugged in, but this actually is all of the dirty power coming in from the grid with nothing else plugged in. So there's no other branch circuits that's on except for one, which is where I am plugged into to one circuit. Okay, everything here is nothing's on, so there's no dirty power above the 6 Hertz cycle that's being created from any other switch mode power supply in the house. This is strictly the dirty power coming from the electrical grid here. These are actually the frequencies. Obviously, you see the 70 Hertz frequency here, okay? And then back in here, you have this looks like probably a smart meter around the 15, usually it's a smart meter area, 15 kilohertz, sometimes 20 kilohertz. So depends on what make it is, I guess. And these are still coming off the grid here. So there's nothing you can do about this. This is coming in from the grid unless you have filters in the house. So I do have a person in another room that has a Xbox. So my helper, Rico, would you go ahead and turn on the Xbox for me, please? It's already starting to see some differences already. Now you hear this starting to go off. So this is the dirty power just from one switch mode power supply from the Xbox. So it went from, it bounces around to, it goes from, when it started out at 35, now we're at 180. So Rico, hey, can you turn on the Xbox, make sure the TV's on too?
Yeah,
so everything's on?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a little bit of a surge from that. Now let me go to the voltage view here. And unfortunately my software doesn't let me do both screens. Let me go to the voltage view. The voltage view, here we go. Turn it on. Yeah, so look at that energy. Wow, that's all coming from the switch mode power supply. You wonder why your kids are dizzy and you can't think and you're under flat mind control. This will absolutely, without any question, make your child docile and cause a lot of health problems. All right, Rico, so go ahead and unplug the Xbox. Now look at that, look how much that changed. That went from, let's see what we got here. I've got a little, trying to see my numbers at the bottom down here. Yeah. Yeah, so now we're down to 136. So everything's off, Enrico, everything's unplugged? Yeah, okay, now you just turned it off, right? All right, because it went down from 200 down to 125 to 60. So you must have had something on. And let's see over here. Yeah, so now we're down to, see if we can see this real quick here. Okay, so those numbers will, and now we're down on the tri field down to 30, 35. And this is down to 66. It took a minute for all that voltage, energy to get out of the wiring. But you see what's going on here. It's this yellow backwards. All right, so go ahead and plug back in the Xbox. Wow, just look at that. Now you see this jumping up here. 135, 135. So we're now 160. So is everything turned on the TV too? Yeah. There we go. Look at that. I guess that was the TV. That's your LED TV. That's your switchable power supplies Xbox. So this is one of the most toxic pieces of equipment. And now the Setra's up to 400. All right, so we're gonna go one more time, unplug everything. First of all, do it in a couple of phases. Turn off the TV first, do that one first, then go to the Xbox. What'd you do? Tell me what you did.
I asked him to unplug the Xbox.
Okay. All right, so now go ahead and unplug everything. Yeah, now we're down to 60. Went from 450 to 60, 63 on the. So when you see what's going on here, now I'm going to go ahead and go back to. Let me stop this. Let me go back to the spectrum view here. I know the video is a little long, but just trying to get the point across here. It's not like I do this every day. So right now everything's off, and I'm going to start this view here. All right, now go ahead and turn on. So this is nothing on in the house. This is actually because this is basically coming in from the grids. That's bad enough. I mean, wait till the data center's going. You're really going to be screwed. So go ahead and plug in the Xbox. Now we're up. Jumping up, 303. Is everything TV on now? Yeah, now it went on. 304, it keeps going up. Look at all that energy. So that's swarming around in your wiring, and it comes out, people don't realize this, but it comes out 6 to 9 feet. And if you have a wiring error, it can just come out unlimited. It just goes across the whole entire room. And this is why we have such huge results. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the... Oh, would you turn it off?
Nope.
No, nothing. Just switch. I guess it's the cycling when you turn things back on here. It hit a higher voltage or peak. But so everything's on?
Yep.
All right, so let me plug in a filter here and see what that does. I'll plug in one here, see what we can do. This guy here. So before I keep this going here. Yeah, that did a really good job. So that's the only way you really can have your kids have gaming and not poison them, is to have some sort of filter into the home. So that's it today. So just a little bit of a view why your kids are so physically addicted. I'm gonna unplug this filter here now to these games. Not just the game. I'm telling you, it's the dirty power too. Yeah, it makes you physically just like any other poison. All right, thanks so much.